Hey everybody, Zack here at etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 on our 2018 Ford Edge. This is going to be a really nice platform style bike rack that's going to be a wheel mount design. So this is going to be a really solid option if you've got maybe some higher end bikes, something you don't want to kind of scuff the finish or anything, or if you've got a carbon fiber bike. So what I like most about this rack really comes down to its looks. I think it looks really sharp. It does all the things I want it to do in a bike rack by, the wheel mount design. It's going to tilt away so I can get into the hatch, which I think is really great. Because for me, every time I go for a ride, if I could get this open, every time I'm riding, I always leave my helmet on. I always forget to throw stuff back in my hatch. And then I don't want to have to take my bike off. So being able to leave the bike on there, I can stop, get groceries on the way home. It's a really nice feature. I think it's kind of one of those things where it's a must, in my opinion, if you're getting a bike rack, especially if you're riding all the time. You can see how easy that was. There's just a little lever there. We lower down. Everything clicks into place. Really nice option for this bike rack. Now, when it comes to the types of bikes that it can hold, it's got a decent amount of variety of what it can hold. So it's going to work with 25 to 29 inch tires. So we're going to have a lot of different bikes there. If you've got something below that, like maybe a kid's bike, adapters are sold separately. That's going to be 20 to 24 inches. And the wheelbase is going to be 47 inches. So for me, this wheelbase, max wheelbase, is a little short for me. My bike's a little over 48 inches, so I go with the NV 2.0 base. A little bit of a step up on that bike rack, but it's going to be very similar. So if you've got something that's longer, that's a really good option. As well as the Kuat Transfer. That is a really nice option. I personally like the looks of this one better than the Transfer, but that one's going to give you a lot of capabilities as well. Another downside to this bike rack is it only has a capacity of 40 pounds per bike. So if you've got an e-bike, it's one of those things where you're going to maybe want to look for something like the Transfer or the NV 2.0. Those are going to get you up over those normal e-bike weight capacities. So you got a normal mountain bike. If you've got a normal road bike, it's going to be a really good option for you, though. When it comes to those mountain bikes, we're going to have a max tire width of 3 inches. So it's pretty wide. It's going to carry or be able to carry most of those as well. Now, the way it's held in place is in those 2 points. We've got that front wheel up there, but then we also have this strap back here. So you can see that just kind of buckles down, holds it in place. Does a really good job there. When I get this off, I can show you how that pivots. Get that strap out of the way. Keep one hand on the bike. Really easy to get that button down, and you can see it ratchets there. And until I press that button, it's not going to come up. So really nice design there. Has a good rubber coating there to protect everything. Get our bike lifted up out of place. You can see this acts like a wheel chock there. So we can fold that back down. That's one thing I like about this rack as well, is it gets really nice and compact. It's pretty lightweight. That NV 2.0 I was talking about, the downside to that rack is it's pretty heavy. So anytime I take it off, it's quite a bit. It takes up a lot of space in the garage as well. So before I fold this up, I'm going to give you a measurement, show you how much it's going to add to the back of your vehicle. So from the back bumper here to this rearmost arm, we're sitting at 30.25 inches. So not a lot, but it does give our bikes a little bit of space there, especially if we've got those wider handlebars. We don't really want those interfering with the seat or any other part of the other bike that's on there. And then I'll get a measurement on our ground clearance back here as well. Rearmost part of the rack sitting at about 19.5 inches. So it gets up. We've got a nice raise there, or rise I should say. Gets us a little bit better ground clearance. Then the closest point is going to be about 6.75 of an inch. So I'll use that same lever there, real easy. Get that folded up into place. Cuts down on a lot of space added. And this is only going to add about 13.5 inches to this rear point right here. So pretty nice and compact against the vehicle. Might throw off the sensors there if you've got those equipped, but I think that our obstruction from our rear view camera is going to be minimal since it does sit kind of close, so it's not extremely tall. Ground clearance here. Let's get me on this shank. And I'm going to go at that lowest point there, and that's at about 10 1/4 inches. So that may vary a little bit depending on which hitch you have on there. But this is going to be a really good shot at how good this bike rack looks. Now, we have the Graphite here. This is going to come in 3 colors. So this one we have here, it's going to come in black with a silver accent, and then it's also going to come in a white pearl. I think all 3 of them look really good. I personally like this gray and orange. I think that's kind of Kuat's go-to color combo that I like a lot. But the other colors look great as well. When you look down here, this is going to be on a 2-inch hitch. If you have the Edge with an 1 1/4 hitch, this bike rack also comes in an 1 1/4. So it's 2 different part numbers. So if you have the 1 1/4 hitch, you're going to want to check out that page. And the 1 1/4 also comes in all 3 colors. So a lot of variety there to kind of match your ride, maybe your bike, which is pretty cool. You can see here with this anti-rattle that we have in place that it's going to be really secure against the vehicle. I'm moving the whole vehicle there, just barely shaking that. So it's really nice and tight. It's a tool-free design, which for me is a big thing. That's what I really like about the Sherpa and the NV 2.0. We just have this knob back here. So you loosen that up, and it is how you would release that anti-rattle, and see, that's how you'd get it loose, but super easy to tighten down. I don't have to get out a socket or wrench to get everything out, and it's tightened back down again. So it comes with a lock down here with the hitch pin. That key will also match the cable lock that comes with this to secure the 2 bikes that you have on there. Downside for me with the Sherpa is that the lock is not integrated into the system. It locks onto it, but it's something you're going to have to store when it's not in use. The NV is built into it, so that's kind of a nice feature. But overall, I think this is a really nice rack. For me, the biggest thing was my wheelbase was too big. But if you've got a wheelbase under 47 inches, your bike is less than 40 pounds, it's going to be a really nice bike rack that's going to last you a long time. But that's going to do it for a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 on our 2018 Ford Edge.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. So we can see here how the bike rack moves with our truck.